My name is Allison Hughes. My husband Derek and I have been married 11 years, and we have two biological children, Bennett, who is 8, and Lydia, who's 7, and we are also foster parents to a sweet 7-month-old baby boy. Adoption has always been something that's been on our hearts even before we were married. It was something we talked about, but as we started our own family, we kind of tabled it, knowing eventually we might pick that back up at some point. 2018 was the beginning of a really hard season for our family, and over the next 3 years, we experienced what felt like loss after loss after loss. My father passed away, my husband's grandmother, and then we walked through a series of miscarriages, all that left us feeling really shaken as a family. But over time, as we processed and healed from that season, the Lord kind of stirred in our hearts and reminded us of that dream to help kids in need and look into adoption for our family. So the first baby step for us after that was to sign up for what at the time was called Ready or Not. And it was a class at our church where we joined in with other families and individuals who were prayerfully considering what adoption or foster care could look like for their own families, and knew that this is something that we wanted to pursue. We moved forward with looking into international adoption. And as we journeyed down that road, we experienced some closed doors over time that just kind of felt like the Lord was telling us we might need to shift directions. Foster care was something that we were familiar with. My sister and brother-in-law had fostered for a number of years. As we explored this and prayed about it, what was cool was we could see how God had been preparing us for this all along. We got connected with our foster agency, WinShape Homes, and started the process of becoming licensed foster parents. We got approved about a year after starting the process, and then just 2.5 short weeks later, we got a call about a little baby in the NICU who needed a home. And we quickly said yes. I remember, the first time walking into the room, and he was just in there by himself, and getting to go over and scoop him up and looking into his eyes and holding him, and just knowing that this is where we were supposed to be, feeling overwhelming peace of the Lord. He was with us, and he was going to walk this out with us. It was just really cool to see as we brought him home, like our kids just embraced him from the start. Like any family experiences, when you add another kid, there are some growing pains and some transitions that we had to work through, but we are just so thankful for the community that has come around us and the support network that we have. There's this statistic that says that 50% of foster families who don't have a support system around them drop out after their first placement. But those that do, 90% of them continue on with foster care. Our church has had a heart for foster care and adoption for a long time, but what has been really neat to see over the last year or two has been the intentionality in creating these groups to come alongside families and connect people in our church who have specific giftings. One of the things we hear a lot as we tell people about our story and about doing foster care is that people say, I think it would be too hard to get attached to these kids and then have to say goodbye. And we definitely felt that in the beginning as well. But what we would say to that is, if you're feeling that way, that probably means you make a really excellent foster parent, because attachment for whatever season you have these children, if it's a month or if it's years, that's exactly what they need, is somebody to come in and love them fully and completely for whatever season they are with you. When you shift your focus as a family from what you have to lose to what these children have to gain, which is the love of a family and getting to see and experience the love of their Heavenly Father, it's so worth it, and it changes your whole perspective.